Hey guys, Crapenter here, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Woo! It's been about a good couple of weeks since the release of patch 9.10, hasn't it? At the time of this upload, I believe it will be 2 weeks, and if you haven't been living under a rock, you'll no doubt know that the new line of Japanese heavy tanks has arrived with this particular patch, and already we're starting to see some trends appear. The early stages of the Japanese heavy tanks are immensely poor. They either are copying the French, which is never a good idea, or they're trying to make a hybrid of like British, French, and German, which that just sounds like a really, really bad idea. But then as soon as you hit tier 5, something starts to happen. You really start to troll people. And I mean, when you start hitting stuff like tier 6 tanks, holy fuck! The trolling just is stupid. So today, I thought, rather than try and do a serious video, let's just have a couple of replays showing you just how ridiculous the RNG is, or how lacking the people are who are driving these particular tanks, you know, who are engaging them, have an idea on how to actually kill them. Now, I imagine there's going to be some person out there saying, oh, this is overpowered, you know, it's stupid, it's Wargaming's done it again. There are disadvantages to driving this thing. It's just at the moment nobody realizes what they are. So today we'll start things off by joining Nimbus in his OI Tier 6 heavy tank. This thing is fucking ginormous, as you can see. It dwarfs most tanks it goes near, and sports a 150mm cannon. It's a bit ridiculous, to be honest. And we are on an encounter match on Himmelsdorf. I am actually in this one as well, driving the SU-100Y, but my match does not matter. And that Cromwell, yeah, we're gonna hit him on the top of the turret, right? He even smacks into his own friend as he tries to scramble out of there. Yeah, I don't think he'll feel confident to do that. Oh, was that artillery? Ah, it doesn't matter. He only took it on the tracks. So anyway, moving up. Tier 5 Panzer IV takes a number of hits. The Cromwell decides to try it again, but I say no. No, you're not doing that again. But, oh wait, look! The T-34 sees his chance. The SU-100Y is fired, and, oh, wait. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. So I try and move into position to get a shot on that Su-85. The Panzer IV decides to derp and fuck me over for a shot, allowing me to get shot a couple times. And Nimbus, well, he gets him, but he only tracks him. And the KV-85 responds by firing, but bouncing. And he decides to move up. The KV-85 makes a good call to shoot Nimbus in the tracks, but Nimbus repairs it. Once again, Nimbus takes a hit, doesn't do any damage, and now the KV-85 is just running away now. Smack. 714. Oh, by the way, did I ever tell you that this thing weighs 100 tons? Or 150? Anyway, so now Nimbus has taken care of the KV-85. We are now currently taking care of enemy tanks, and that Storg is about to get a very nasty butt plug. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, this thing is more than... This thing just seems like a whole bunch of laughs. I do need to get up the Japanese heavy tank tree. It is just so stupid, it's funny. I mean, this, as I said, this thing has its disadvantages. It's not a very mobile tank. Like, it has a good acceleration, but the problem with the Japanese heavy tank tree is that the moment you unlock one of the engines, which if you can get it at tier 5, you'll become very quickly, the problem is it doesn't actually get any better the higher tier you go. Instead, you end up having the same engine, which means you're stuck with the same engine going on a heavier and heavier tank, or like, you know, or in other cases, a more armoured tank, giving you, or denying you the ability to maneuver. And also, because you're such a large target, it means that going in tighter areas is immensely difficult for you. Like, I don't even have the tank, and I can automatically tell that artillery is going to love you if it catches you out in the open. You know, cities is this thing's best friend. This kind of environment. Open wild, you know, out the wild, you're no different than an E100. Which, annoyingly, this thing seems to perform better than an E100 because it's at a lower tier. And the game ends as the Panzer IV tries to reverse himself out of that corner, and I get a lucky shot to finish him off. So, let's go to the results of that relatively quick game, just to see how funny things are. So, here are the results of that game. A rather quick and decisive victory for our team. And rather hilariously, Nimbus picks himself up a high caliber for that one. You'll see. You'll see. And also he gets to pick up a nice Brothers in Arms, thanks to Fate being nice to us. I don't often get these awards, because, I don't know, it just, either I don't do enough, or one of our members dies. Either way. But also, hilariously enough, Nimbus was also able to get himself a Demolition Expert. And I believe it was when he hit that Stug. Right in the back. Let's have a look at the team score. So, looking at the amount of experience gained in that particular game, Nimbus achieving a shit ton in awards. He also achieved 2,149 damage. That's a lot. And bearing in mind, that game was about 3, maybe 4, possibly 5 minutes long. And in that one game, where he took a very long time to reload, he did almost 2k damage. Sorry, 2k and a little bit extra damage. That's ridiculous. Like, the closest one who was next to him was myself, getting 1,005 damage. You know, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. And well played to our opponents. They did do a decent job in trying to attack, but unfortunately, it just, with the OI there, it was more of a laughing matter than anything. So anyway, now let me take you to the second game in our video. So here we are for the second and final game of today's video. Today we are joining Bidden War instead of Nimbus, but Nimbus is in this game alongside Japs. They are all platooned in Winterberg, standard map, tier 6 game. Another city map, which I think the new Japanese heavy line seems to fare. I reckon, I haven't got any yet, but I reckon that's where these particular tanks are immensely strong at, especially in the very high tiers like tier 9 and what have you. So both Nimbus and Bidden and Japs decide to take to the town, prepare to slug it out with our opponents. One of the cooler things about this particular tank line is when people just stare at you. It's ridiculous. You have like the tier 5 and 6, and there are just tanks that will just look at you for like 5 seconds. Oh, it was hilarious. Anyway, so at the moment, it would seem that Bidden and Nimbus are the only people advancing down this particular street, which is hardly good news to start off with. And making their way towards the middle section of the map. And artillery already claims his first victim. So enemy T-150 throws a shell in, hitting Nimbus there. And unfortunately, Bidden's first shot does not seem to do anything damaging-wise. So Nimbus already taking a nasty hit. Decides to go in for the slugfest. T-150 takes a nasty hit off someone else. I believe it was the KV-2 firing there. The ARL-44 taking firing positions. Nimbus, Bidden, preparing himself a shot. And one-shotting the ARL-44. I imagine that was a ridiculously high roll. So the T-150 paying a bit too much attention to the KV-2 and KV-1. Nimbus fires. I believe he fires high explosive. Yep. And Bidden finishes him off with another shell. Might as well, as he was a rather large threat. But it's not looking too good, as we are currently 4 down, and Japs is unfortunately really low on hit points. So Nimbus continues to watch the area where the KV-2 is at, but Bidden decides to turn around and prepares to defend. Jap starts to withdraw. M6 appears very foolishly in the wrong point. And, oh, Jesus Christ, another OI. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. Enemy OI hits. I don't believe he has the top gun, because that should have killed him. Does he not? No, he does not. He has the 100mm gun. He doesn't have the 100mm. He doesn't have the derp. Well, okay, let's see what he can do. Bidden tries to aim for a weak spot, taking his time, not panicking and shooting. Takes a hit, but luckily doesn't penetrate. He decides to throw a shell in and does get the side of the enemy OI. So now the Jagdpanzer IV with a very poor choice of weaponry. Unfortunately, Japs has sadly perished, so now it is just Nimbus, Bidden, and a Jagdpanzer IV. Unfortunately, the OI gets a shot in on Bidden, but he turns his armor, very foolishly giving Bidden the shot he needed, and Nimbus taking another hit there. Unfortunately, looking around, SU-100 charges up. Bidden, Nimbus takes the shot, but unfortunately doesn't kill him, but the SU-100 does. So now, unfortunately, Bidden is nearly completely alone. Enemy KV-85. KV-85 is told to shut up and deal with it. And so now, the SU-100 daring to make a push, giving Bidden the chance to reload. KV-2 is in position. He might have the top one. No, he misses anyway. And the SU-100, yeah, wrong target. And so now the situation is turning to shit, so Bidden is changing and using premium shells. Now, Bidden is completely surrounded here. This is an 8v10 now. You know, so 8 kill. We've only got 8 kills, and the enemy has 10. And the KV-2, I believe, just bounced a premium shot. Anyway, Rudy in the background there fires, bounces. Bidden, unfortunately, goes low. KV-2 tries again, but this time he hits the wrong target. Rudy takes another shot. KV-2 is reloading. He is using the 100mm, I believe. Yeah, 105. Bidden cannot ram. He decides to withdraw. He's taking a shit ton of fire. KV-2 tries to ram him. That's not a good idea. So enemy Rudy is taking a shot. He is taking a critical hit. Does not get penetrated. He is still completely surrounded. It is looking like utter shite. Cheeto. Oh, he's surrounded. He could get killed now. Surrounded by loads of people. Cheeto, no, what are you doing? Ah! There you go. Is he gonna try again? He's looking, he's waiting, and Cheeto fluffs up. And the Stug G actually comes in to save Bidden's ass. Literally. So having held off against, what, like 5 enemy tanks, virtually? The game pretty much is now settled. And despite very kindly asking the T-3485 to not do it, he decides to ignore that and just take the last 2 kills, because Bidden is currently having 8 kills. So if the T-3485 was a kind soul, he may have actually done Bidden a favor and let him get those 2 kills. But you know what some people are like on World of Tanks. Anyway, so let's now take you to the results of that game. So here are the results of that game. A pretty awesome victory for Bidden War in his OI. Scoring himself a very nice 64,000 credits, 2,537 experience, which I do not believe was doubled. So that was pretty damn awesome as well. He also receives the Ace Mastery Badge Tanker, which, let's face it, a match like that, you'd have to get it, along with a few other awards, the Reaper, the Scharfschütze, and the Master Gunner. Let's have a little look at the team score. And having a look at this particular team score is a little bit silly. Bidden achieves 1,691 base experience. You know, that just base experience on that. And he dishes out 3.5k damage. That is a crap ton. Even in a tier 6 game, that is quite a feat to achieve, that's for certain. Not only does he do that, he also blocks about 2k in armor for damage and 2,770 damage in total he blocked. Like, this thing's armor, although it's immensely flat, you angle it just right, I reckon it's almost impenetrable for some games. I imagine Wargaming will probably get a multitude of messages saying this thing's overpowered. I guarantee it. He also was able to spot for at least 787 for damage just for detecting. So, not only does he do that, but he also spots damage as well, which is a little, this thing's an all-rounder, it can scout, it can flank, it can kill, no problem. So, yeah, 2 weeks life of patch 9.10, and we're already starting to see some pretty trolly circumstances occurring with these tanks. But I don't care, because I really want to get one now, and I think this is definitely the proof to say it's worth giving it a go. If you're a heavy tank driver who enjoys watching people cry horrible tears of death as you blow them up for like the umpteenth time, then by all means get one of these things. You'll enjoy it, guarantee it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this. This is Crap Hunter signing out. I'll catch you next time.